Today, manufacturer, a lot of the time, this product costing and process cost reduction, they are based on experience and judgment. But once you have a wrong judgment, that will be result in loss of customers, loss of profits, and so on. So we produce this costing system is to give them a guide in real time to solve all these issues.
The challenge that we face is that firstly, the costs are in the ERP system, whereas the technical data is in the MES system, two different systems. Unless you are able to merge the cost and the production data, you will not be able to get real-time cost visibility.
Link costs, they are good in merging the costing data to production process. And for SMT, we have an advanced manufacturing MES system with a model factory. This helps us a lot because we concentrate in the manufacturing data, and we never expect that actually real-time costing is a very important issue. But we learn a lot from these collaborations.
Our smart cost solution is designed from day one to work with any industry, and we have proven it by testing it with several systems of different companies. With this, management and operation groups can speak with one language, the language of cost, and they can use cost to drive productivity.
We are in the space of emotion AI. We use AI not in the sense of the IQ or in the traditional intelligence, but we look at the EQ, the emotional aspect of intelligence. OPSIS' strength is actually in products that have very accurate and very precise emotion measurements compared to a lot of our competitors. So we're able to capture real-life emotions and expressions very accurately, and even down to very subtle expressions that we can capture. Our technology, our solutions can be used in a lot of different industry verticals. For example, we're seeing opportunities in healthcare, in education, in transportation, entertainment. Those analytics are typically specific to the relevant industries, and we provide the consulting and the know-how to help our partners come up with the right analytics and compute the right insights based on the measurements that we do. So we've developed technology and solutions that allow us to capture and analyze facial expressions and use those to objectively measure emotions and emotional responses from people. This can be done in real time, and which is very important for the customers who want to use this in interactive solutions, interactive displays, robots that respond to people and people's reactions. As the industry goes through a digital transformation, we see that these types of solutions are very useful in many verticals. Human resources is a very traditional industry vertical, and it's also now moving slowly to digital. This company has integrated OPSIS solutions to make it easier for recruiters to pre-screen candidates. Candidates record themselves responding to certain interview questions. Based on this, we can provide a ranking to the recruiters, so this really helps them save time in the whole recruitment process. Retailers at the moment are trying to improve the customer experience for their shoppers, to make the experience just as good, as convenient, or even better than online shopping. And so they use our solution to really understand customer satisfaction as soon as they walk into the store. Using our measurements, they can actually compare the customer experience across different retail outlets, across different countries, and use that to link it back with other types of data that they have collected. We are deploying our solution in the cloud, where it is much easier for our partners to then go and integrate our analytics into their own solutions. To be able to do that, where our customers integrate our measurements with their own ERP systems, and then it's very seamless and very easy to do that for them.
SenseCare is our product for mental health, with data trained from clinical, counseling, and psychological fields. It measures facial expressions, speech, gestures to help healthcare professionals treat mental health conditions such as depression, anxiety, stress, and cognitive decline. SenseCare can help someone suffering from depression by giving daily updates on their moods. It can be connected to a health or automated talk therapy to prompt positive behavioral cues for self-healing remedies. We identify non-motor stage 1 and stage 2 symptoms, psychosis, sleep problems, and hallucinations. The underlying purpose is to detect early signs for medical conditions like dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Intervention care includes combinations of lifestyle and disease-modifying mental or behavioral therapy, using everyday devices like smartphone or laptop. Other applications of SenseCare are remote patient monitoring and predicting the health state of patients. For remote patient monitoring, SenseCare can be used in pain detection to monitor progress for stroke, acute pain, and incisive care recoveries, and to predict potential alarming situations. If our algorithm detects that a patient is feeling extreme pain or may be suicidal, it will alarm the caregiver for fast intervention. Results show that SenseCare can assess accurately up to 85% the state of mind of the elderly. With just 15 to 20 minutes of the assessment, the social worker is able to tell what protocol to implement, whether to send the elderly person to paracounselor, counselor, clinical, or specialist for care planning. The time taken to detect mental health issues is reduced from 1 hour to 15 minutes, and social workers' experience requirement is reduced from 3 to 5 years to just 3 weeks. SenseCrowd is our product for public security, with data trained from cross-cultural, developmental, social, and forensic psychology fields. It analyzes crowd behavior using semantic observation. Emotion data analytics supports pattern recognition and anomaly identification, which can help security officers identify the suspect in a crime, direct hotspots policing, and focus deterrence to help in reducing crime rate. SenseCrowd can be integrated with various CCTV surveillance systems to improve the response times to crimes, identify possible scenarios for risk management and mitigation. Our AI can monitor crowd emotions to detect the crowd's emotional temperature and identify the coalescence of aggressive groups or hotspots and likelihood of normal behavior. It can help the security officer in identifying a suspicious person. Upon detecting a negative mood, security officers are warned to be ready to intervene quickly in case of a potential threat. Other applications of SenseCrowd are events experience survey and smart cities. Our AI can measure true reactions of attendees at an event. As many people tend to be too polite to share their true inner feelings, our AI can capture even subtle expressions. It can generate real-time mood maps that allow event planners to identify which areas, booths, sessions have the most engaged audience, or which areas are likely to have problematic situations. In smart cities, our AI can measure crowd sentiment and behavior patterns with existing CCTV, sensors, and IoTs in public spaces and events to identify potentially threatening or aggressive behavior, or facilitate traffic movement. It can also measure facial expressions and eye tracking of passerbys to evaluate effectiveness of interactive digital out-of-home ads. SenseLearn is our product for education, with data trained from behavioral, educational, and human factors psychology fields. Our AI tracks student eye movements, facial expressions, vocal tones, and vocal patterns to measure concentration at different moments during a class. It reveals when students are bored, happy, anxious, interested, angry, or surprised. It measures reactions such as hesitation, focus, and stress. The aggregated information sheds light on the student's response and can help teachers to improve the quality of teaching, content, or engagement method. It can be used in individual or group settings. SenseLearn can help teachers detect learning disabilities. Emotions like sadness and fear can help identify students experiencing learning difficulties or who are significantly falling behind. Early intervention may help a student overcome personal difficulties. Teachers can work with parents to help the child deal with emotional and social issues that affect learning. Our AI can also be used to monitor learning progress. The emotions data can be combined with other data such as class participation to improve the accuracy of evaluations of student performance. Other applications of SenseLearn include HR interviews and advertising research. For HR interviews, analysis of the candidate's emotional reactions while answering questions enables an assessment of personal traits independently of any unconscious bias. Our analytics can categorize potential candidates according to specific quadrants concerning emotional aptitude. In advertising research, our AI studies emotions related to attention, engagement, valence, and joy to quantitatively determine if a particular advertising copy causes high levels of ad liking. An ad's effectiveness is determined by the consumer's unconscious emotional responses. Ads that achieve high levels of attention and engagement are effective as emotions, are highly correlated with memory and purchase intent. SenseSafe is our product for safe driving. The data trained from cognitive, experimental, and social psychology fields. It measures facial expressions and their intensity and is sensitive to split-second changes in subtle expressions. Voice analytics and gestures improve the accuracy, especially in detecting aggression or extreme anxiety. The purpose is to make sure the driver is paying attention to the road by monitoring psychological parameters such as eye closure, distraction, and drowsiness when driving. Our AI senses and warns against emotions such as fatigue, anxiety, aggression, road rage. It can also be integrated into devices or biomarkers which measure physiological data, such as heart rate, respiratory rate, temperature changes, to more accurately identify sudden changes in medical conditions which impact the ability of the driver to drive safely. Other applications of SenseSafe are in-cabin sensing and in-cabin advertising. Our AI senses the motions of the driver, passengers, and cabin and adjusts naturally for a more enjoyable ride experience. For instance, it can tune on more energizing music upon sensing frequent yawning or signs of eye fatigue during long trips. It can play happy songs when sensing passengers are feeling down. It can adjust ambient lighting and temperature according to the passenger's mood, and passengers can carry on a mood-reactive conversation with Siri. For in-cabin advertising, SenseSafe can measure responses to the content of entertainment, advertising, and campaigns, which are continuously tested inside the vehicle. In public transport, SenseSafe can measure the engagement of computers with interactive displays that both push information and gather data on customer preferences and satisfaction.
Calling all high-mix, low-volume manufacturers, did you know that 25 to 50% of your product's cost may be wasted? And errors of judgment made during product costing can cause loss of customers and profits. However, something can be done if you can measure these wastes and errors. But there are some challenges to measure them. Our Senior Operational Excellence Manager commented that linking efficiency with cost is not so straightforward. And an owner of a software accounting firm agreed that current product costing relies a lot on judgment and errors have serious consequences on profitability. This problem is serious in high-mix, low-volume production due to its complexity compared to mass production. The complexity arises because while a product's direct materials and direct labor cost is clear, the overheads and indirect costs are not clear, and so is being allocated by using judgment and experience. 3 groups in a factory are most affected: the executives, finance, and the operations, and may result in serious problems such as 1. Overpricing or underpricing of products as the true cost is not clear. 2. Misinformation about where are the cost reduction opportunities. And 3. Possible loss of customers and profits. So our mission is to provide real-time product costing, product cost prediction, and spotting potential areas for cost savings to maximize their profits. We achieve this by our unique AI-driven IP solution, which identifies each unique product's production data in real time and computes and allocates the direct, indirect, and overhead costs precisely to each different product as they are processed and in compliance with GAAP regulations, generally accepted accounting practices. Lean Cost was developed over 10 years with ideas from world-renowned manufacturers and presented with easy-to-understand, user-friendly interfaces. We are honored to be named the winner of the 2021 Singapore International Chamber of Commerce Best Technological Collaboration Award in October of 2021. This solution helps 1. Executives to make decisions with product and process cost data from the executive dashboard. 2. Finance can use the average product true cost to reduce costing errors towards zero. And 3. Operations can see actionable cost reduction opportunities and foster a strong production cost ownership culture. Executives are often overwhelmed by information overload from the ever-increasing reports generated. Our customizable executive dashboard highlights the best and worst cost performance of each process and product, and is easily understood at one glance. For example, based on the dashboard, executives made a decision for the factory to focus on increasing heater products' profitability with clear cost goals for the next 6 months. For the finance group, the green horizontal line represents the average true product cost, thus complementing the accountant's judgment and helping the standard cost to become more accurate over time. As an example, the accountant's judgment had set the standard manufacturing cost for product A at $26, while its true cost came to $30.49, which is higher than what the accountant had judged. This information helps the accountant correct product A's standard cost and so enables the company to better manage its pricing model and strategy. In the live graph, the gap between the green and the red line, known as the zero loss cost, represents the opportunity for cost reduction supported with process-level details. Very often, management needs to provide quotes to customers for the next few months, but knowing that certain production costs like materials or energy or overheads will be increasing, instead of just using judgment, finance can use the modeling function, which acts like a digital twin, to predict how the product will be affected. For example, here the product cost is predicted to drop by 3.9% if the process yield can improve by 2%. This also allows a project team to predict and select the most meaningful production issues to work on. It is known that an efficient process does not always guarantee a profitable process. So while process indices such as overall equipment effectiveness percentages and process trends are informative, most employees will find product cost data intuitively more meaningful and easier to understand and relate to. As management had earlier decided the company needs to focus on improving its heaters' profitability by reducing its product cost from $30.49 to below $26, a 4.49 cent cost reduction, within 6 months, the operations group began to focus on it. The details in this example are changed, but the storyline is factual. Lean costs showed a possible $11.03 cost reduction spread over the 7 processes, but mostly concentrated in the first 2 processes. So by concentrating projects in just 2 processes, the company can focus resources on the vital few instead of spreading thin over the trivial mini problems. For each process, a Pareto list of the cost wastages by their causes is available to help the project teams. Once a wastage is targeted and ticked for improvement, tracking for the cost reduction commences. The blue bars showed one of the cost reduction projects achieved over August to November, with all other variables locked on the baseline August month conditions. The dotted blue line graph shows an erratic trend because many unexpected changes had happened, resulting in noise obscuring the actual improvement. This helps both the project teams and management accurately evaluate and reward an improvement team. At the end of 6 months, the cost reduction goal set for the heater product was exceeded, and the company was glad to have a highly profitable product again. So if you're looking for a solution to help you reduce your product cost continuously and improve product costing accuracy, do contact us for a virtual product demo over. Lean Cost gives you the bottom line information, anytime, anywhere. Visit us at www.leancostinternational.com for more information.
An industry-agnostic artificial intelligence solution with customized tooling that focuses on computer vision that impacts businesses, Internet of Things, and the environment. Our goal is to help humanity understand artificial intelligence. CAWIL AI is the frontrunner of computer vision AI in the Philippines, empowering women in leadership in the field of artificial intelligence.
こんにちは。株式会社八乙女犬飼です。知多半島発農業ベンチャーの挑戦、菜の花ひまわり黄色い絨毯プロジェクト、説明させていただきます。よろしくお願いいたします。株式会社八乙女、2010年8月創業の12年目の会社でございます。もともとは有機野菜の移動販売、軽トラック1台から始まった会社でございまして、軽トラックで、産地巡っていく中で農地の問題、農業産業構造上の問題見聞きしていく中で一年発起をいたしまして、2017年私知多半島愛知県知多半島最南端の町南知多町に移住をしまして就農いたしました。現在は生産から販売まで携わっておりまして、野菜、オイル、コスメ、三位一体の農業を軸とした事業展開をしております。事業の中で畑を守り、担い手を育てる。その上で美味しい野菜、健康に貢献をする。そういうことをモットーに事業展開しております。特に畑を守り、担い手を育てるというところは、このお二人のベテラン有機農家さんとの出会いと別れが原点となっており、黄色い絨毯プロジェクトのきっかけともなっております。お二人の素晴らしい農業技術、畑、どう守っていくんだ。野菜を運ぶだけじゃ、それは守れない。その現実を出会いと別れの中から体験をいたしまして、なんとか事業構造の中からそれを支える仕組みを作れないか、その中で生まれてきたのが黄色い絨毯プロジェクトです。事業概要としましては、耕作放棄地に担い手のいなくなりそうな農地に菜の花ひまわり巻きまして、土作りの一環、緑肥効果を狙いまして、栽培面積を広げ、観光資源化も狙っております。菜の花の種、ひまわりの種、油の原料として使用。油のカスは肥料として再利用し、食用だけではなく、化粧品の原料としても利用することで収益性を高め、それらを人材育成や農業に再投資をする、そういう地域循環を生み出そうと思って生み出したプロジェクトがこちらです。最終的に農地は新規就農者に引き渡していくことを前提としております。黄色い絨毯、みんなでも作ろう。自分たちだけではなく、地域外の人たちも巻き込むことで、興味を持ってもらうために農業探検会、先般も南知多町と行いました。大変好評でございまして、自分たちが蒔いた種がどうなってくんだ、どう育つんだ、油にちゃんとなるのかな、そういう気になるとこからまた来たい、また触れてみたい、関わってみたいという関係人口が生まれてきます。最終的には自分で担ってみたいっていう人も生まれることを目指して、これらは続けています。さらに今年から始まりましたバイオ燃料用の黄色い絨毯作り。自分たちの農業燃料の自給を目指しながら、南知多町とも連携をし、災害に強い自給自足のできるまちづくりを目指して、こちらも推進しております。いろいろなことが組み合わさってまいりますと、海の町ならではのこのような魅力的な地域資源が揃ってまいりまして、オーガニック油脂、天然海産物、 農産物組み合わせることで無限の可能性のあるオーガニック加工品が生み出せます。それらを OEM 展開することで地域産業化を推進し、この黄色い絨毯のロケーションを生かしたオーガニック産業観光地化の可能性も目指しながら事業を推進してまいります。さらに最後に、このようなプラットフォーム形成を目指しております。販売者である一般企業と、地域と自治体と行政機関も巻き込みながら、地域、社会全体で SDGs への取り組みを意識した座組を組みまして、販売、生産、教育、3つの機能を併せ持った座組の構築を今推進しているところでございます。大手量販店の愛社様とは、今現在、随分準備が進んでまいりまして、オーガニックファーマー育成制度として、早期の設立を目指しながら、農地のバトン、人材の育成含めた事業展開を進めてまいろうと、今現在進めている次第でございます。このような形の黄色い絨毯プロジェクト、事業説明は以上でございます。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。ご清聴ありがとうございました。